So basically, it's not recording. So this is the my screen stopped. So what we call model. So my ears were hearing something. So but those things are noise. So if I'm a whale, I pick up in my ears. But my ears, my temporal lobe and my perceptual lobe of infinite distance. Infinite distance is space, time, dimension. I'm operating XYZ document. But I'm meant to get something I really want to store. Basically, I don't really care about anything apart from the things I need. So if I'm going to 100 meters to get krill, it must be some kind of new krill that's sustainable and can be eaten like a flowing as well. But the information is just basically you have no sight involved, you have no smell involved. You just get the way the krill have kind of single thing. You know it's krill, so you don't eat it because the krill is there. You just open krill comes in. But that's the idea here. You don't even want to think about it because the krill is just the thing you need. So the temporal board model is gonna have to develop some kind of sense for krill, sense of krill, which is sense of direction for krill. So the krill will be what you're eating. So you'll be eating krill, just swallowing krill. But the krill glows in the dark, so you have to have some kind of sense that you take like a dark just by what you hear. And you're gonna have to follow some krill pattern. The krill pattern will be like something like the krill just do when they're mating. So you can open your mouth and swallow the krill. And so the krill means like glowing krill because when the krill grows and they have a lot of when they become tastier, they have some kind of adults, they become kind of bumpy. So you can use that bumpiness to determine whether you're eating krill. So that's kind of it. Because the thing about it is just gulp the krill and go, just gulp all of them. So, for example, the temporal, so you can use echolocation. Now, may think of echo as the worst scenario. What could you see go to kill? But whales do it, and that's the only thing they use. They don't even need to communicate with the friends. The friends doesn't know where the krill is via that protocol of just echoing. The sonar, basically sonar, but radar detection with sonar. It doesn't really matter where the krill is. They already know because the krill have some kind of sonar detection they do. So they emit a sonar sonar, because they're emitting signals that when they actually breed. That disrupts the whales, distorts the reality of the form of the whale in the ocean. And how you model this with the segment thing is what I'm going to teach you now. The modeling of the krill's behavior. So you have the food sub, which is just at the very bottom of the ocean. The depth of the ocean is like 100 meters, so 100 meters here. And the whale, basically, whales surface at 50 meters. 50 meters, 50 miles. They go up. We are 50 meters. We are 50 miles. So the whale goes here to 100 meters. So it knows the krill is here, 100 meters, to swallow them. So what it does is signal the sonar. So what the whale does is have like a kind of sonar mechanic. So the more the depth, the more crushing or the more demanding the journey of the whale. So they have to just ensure that the sonar is not precise, but dynamic and accurate. Because it doesn't have to make it makes two predictions of the thing. So the two predictions are just this: where the whales is at the current state, where it is frame of reference to the 100 meters depth of the krill, which is basically just an estimate, but some kind of compression there. So if the whale sends a sonar signal, 100 meters depth, you have to go to 75 meters. You have to know anything for 75 meters better. So I'm now 75 meters now. I know my waves are now compressed. So I know I'm 50, 100 plus 50, 100 plus 50, 150, 150 divided by 2 is 75 meters. 75 meters depth, it knows it's there. 75 miles depth, sorry, not 50 meters. Miles depth, so let's go. Miles, it goes to 5 miles deep. Now, the temperature, the environment is now naturally toxicity, because it starts to degrade if it's 30 minutes or longer. Because it can stay there over an hour, but it's trying to get food, so it's really thinking about just the food. So what you should basically now in the space to get the kill. So the krill will be mating at 100 degrees, but to get a krill to get eaten, the krill must ensure that it's navigating, because the krill they're not scared, they're just not expecting it. So you must just go up it. So the krill just goes in your mouth and you can just eat it. Because you're not meant to have something to eat it with, not that for focus. But the krill knows there is that the breeding process is dangerous for its offspring. So the krill thinking about its offspring, and you're thinking about eating krill. So what you're gonna do, ensure that the signal for the clamping, what it does, bubble the krill makes a sound and gets bred on time before it leaves, so there's no food for someone to kill, and you have offspring and they're fine. And they have laid of eggs. So that's what I'm saying. So when the krill sees a shrimp, it doesn't see a shrimp. It has to detect the structure of the qualia of the shrimp, because everything's a qualia in stomach. So if the whale qualia is sonar bound. So basically, the whale has only one sense. Think of it one sense, one dimension sense, and that's a two-dimension sense. So the one dimension, first dimension sense is what? Two. It's sparse. So here's two dimensions. So one plus one, I can hear the krill, I can locate the krill based on the compression of the waves, the sound waves that propagated through the water, the sonars. Because those are sound waves that go. That's what sonar is. Sound wave in water. Don't ask me why I know, but I know what sonar is. Sound waves in water. But radar, it's like radar on the earth. Sonar is more propagated through the water. But so it's a lot of bouncing. So it works on light principles, but it compresses and decompresses based on the electromagnetic spectrum. That's why you have sonar model. But it's not good enough that one. So the sonar has to go down or downstream to wherever the crane was, and actually accurately detect the form or the body of a krill. Something that looks like a krill, but no krill is not a food, so that must be avoided. That's the worst case scenario of it. So if the krill has some kind of quality, so we basically the senses of the dimension, just the hearing, just the so when I send a signal, a sonar, I open my mouth and then I'm kind of way I project that information to this medium, via the medium. But this medium is a signal, So I send I can define this in frame. So I can have like a signal, something that means something to me. It can be a frequency of oscillation or some kind of amplitude I meant to measure that's easier to do. Low to high frequency, low to high oscillation, low to high amplitude. That's the signal. And they get the no signal. What's my medium? What do I know when there's nothing there? There's no one there, no one like me there, including the whales. And then we got the no noise. No noise. So there's no noise here. There's no noise. There's nothing here. Basically, no signal is not no noise. So if there's no noise, there's nothing here. Absolutely. I'm looking the wrong way. I'm at the wrong place at the wrong time. So that's what I'm saying. Because it could be a trap even. But I avoid the trap, but I don't want to be there for the trap. So I signal the no noise. No noise. Just quiet. Just quiet. Which is kind of awkward in the sea. At feeding time. Feeding frenzy time. If I need my friends. And you get the no signal, you get a signal, no signal, you get a no noise, and you get a noise. Now, the noise is where the krill are. So you have to distort not distort the reality, but your reality is like not their reality. So basically, you want to get their signal, which is your noise. So if you make it wrong, so basically, the krill signal for mating is your noise. That's what you're trying to detect. When you get your noise in this framework, that is your noise. That's what we're trying to do. But the krill can make no noise too. So we're trying to cover the two aspects of no signal, no noise, and no noise, noise. So when you basically you have to ensure that the no noise is the no noise requires of the signal, so you don't get scooped up without noise, and you get no signal. So you give no signal. So the krill's no signal is you don't have the krill to alert each other. So all you have is signal. All you want is signal for you, and all the noise and no signal and no noise for them. So there's kind of like they're a bit confused in their own protocol of their own operational. You have to ensure that you are maximizing your intake of the 100 calories and 100,000 krill a day. Yeah. So, but that's the form because so what you have to do is the first kind of modulation system for signaling the modulation system is there. So, if for example the modulation system is just very important you understand now. So, so the modulation system is this. So you see this, guys? This is what I'm talking about here. So the depth, the higher you go, the more dense the density, and the more it's harder It's just that it's easier to lose signal to do. Which is the idea of this entire framework. You don't say it's a well, you don't say it's a krill, you say it's a perceptual membrane with a sparse topology that can fit the shape or fit or do something that fits a protocol, but it isn't really basically it's flexing on the protocol. This is another model here. Can you see, guys? Yes. So basically, if my topology is sparse based on dimensions I am, because I have like infinite computation of dimension, because my medium is naturally infinite, but there's no noise in that medium. So the physical one I'll give you guys again is when I get to 75%, I'm using other features. Obviously, the three layers, you get 25%, 25 miles, you get 50 miles, you get 75 miles, and you get 75 miles, and you get 100 miles. This is like the feature fees at each point to ensure that the target is reached. But there are two halves of the same problem. So at 25 miles, your topology of you have a topology structure of form like some kind of a bubble shape. This is like it's not ridges, it's like a snowflake, it's not ridges. So you get the bubble shape here. Now, the bubble shape is very important because the dimensions you're observing. One dimension is just sparse. So if you have like ik things you can act on, you have the k things you cannot act on, and vice versa. Plus k, you get ik plus k. So if you want to respond to your whales, you have two k, two can inverse kinematics things you can do actually on whales. So if you're whale hunting, and then you have 1k or 2k to 2k things that you cannot do because you're two shared problems. But this is not making sense because the system's not fragmented. So you get like two topology structures you can model. So this you can do, what you cannot do, what you can act on, what you cannot act on. Action. So if I ever send a signal, sonar signal, down the stream, I have to ensure that the signal holds coherent and I'm really actually getting to things done. For example, the topology of the environment must reflect my site, which is like a earworms site, echolocation. So I can what modulate my signal. How do I modulate my signal? I can define some kind of a song with a rhythm and a rhyming that looks like that the clip can understand, but I can't understand because it's just noise. So I can scream to basically someone can just scream and expect that to basically that's a scream on. In the worst case, just scream in my whale sound, no whale song. I could just scream. And the crowd, think it's food, but that's not really the. Or I can choose that's a fake positive, false positive, a false and it's positive, and you can scream without doing something and scream, and then the queer will know it's true positive. I can fake a true positive, false positive, true negative. I can scream and not get a response. Invalid test again. I can false positive. I can fake a scream. False negative. I can scrape and don't get results from it. It's about incremental. But the whale songs are really the protocol here because you don't you understand the formation of the density. You understand what the topology of what you're looking for is. What is another whale? It gives you some kind of a sense of sight. So you can have sense of direction, which is what the whole protocol is about for finding crow. So the sight of sense, the sense of direction is the navigation one, but it's based on the wave propagating. So the wave propagating up down the waveform visualizer is the messaging protocol that over signal that's coherent. So if I hear my sound bloop, 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 that's the pattern. But if I have bloop 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 bloop, that's just noise. So but the patterns is like bloop 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 bloop. But basically you get one dot 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 one space one. Basically you get two halves beat. So let me think. One half one bloop. Now this can be a signal for like so you can have like this bloop is not really the word for what the way it sound, but it's not ooh, but I can say the bloop because I'm stupid, I'm not well. But I can think this bloop is ooh, but we're trying to make it a signal that's coherent for words and stuff. So I will try to do it if I'm talking to whale right now. I have to make ooh. Now this is now this tone. I can keep this tone. I can make this tone ooh, and let's make it a whale song. So now I can now define. So if I have the tone, I know I'm communicating well, because I get signal, I get some kind of refer. But this wave propagates specifically. I guess it's compressed at the whale end, but they can't hear me. They can't hear me because I have to amplify it. So I have to amplify my voice. Ooh, so they get the right message. So because the wave basically it gets every time the wave propagates half times. If I think I'm making noise, I can hear myself. The whale cannot hear me. It can never hear me because I can hear myself and it's just noisy then. So there's no response from the whale in any way, shape, or form because I can't even see the whale in the fullest form. If I make a full bloop, I have to sustain the frequency and then sustain the frequency and amplitude. I'm at the bare minimum, depending on the range of the hunting. What do you call it? Because I can name all I want, but the whale song has natural ability to. So the thing I'm saying is that the whale song is a protocol for catching krill. Not even off guard, just like feeding itself. Because if you get really good at it, the krill just walks into his mouth, thinking it's some kind of shelter. Because the whale just know they're there. So if this is full of protocol of sonar systems, because sonar is propagates via polarity, so you can have some kind of signal that the krill understands, but don't really want to influence and really believes it's food based on chatter, how they interact, etc. But the polarity of the family, they're working together to do something, but krill doesn't need to do that. So what the krill does is I click back. So one thing is that so what's basically krill? Say the krill has everything. The krill has sight. So it has seven senses, seven dimensions. Seven senses. You get sight, smell, taste, eyes, hearing, breathing, breathing underwater. That's like two. So you can breathe on top, breathe on water, breathe in water. That's two lungs. It's two lungs. It's just two lungs. Yeah, two lungs. So you get krill on water, clean on land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 senses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 senses intake of the senses. It's senses of perception, and then it's 8 senses. It's after the relay. So the krill has this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He has 9 senses. 9 senses of sight. 9 senses. Now the 9 senses are there for the krill, but the krill is not using it accurately because the quills are so small they're blind. They're blind, but they're not dumb. It's just they don't have the system they have words to use them coherently and navigate systems of vehicles. The quills are naturally blind in the both eyes. They go in the water, but they have short-lived lives, but they live in well, but not living to their fullest potential because the crow's eyes are very short-sighted. Before you know it got swallowed by whale. They can glow in the dark, which another sense of the 10 senses, depending on the quail. 10 senses